to Amphail, we're heading to Amphail. But are we really at Amphail? What are these strange sounds as we near Amphail? We're heading. Strange noises through the trees in the distance. Who pushes over trees? Make our way from Nightstone to Amphail. Not to sound impatient or rude, but Bum's proposal excites me somewhat. Make our way from Nightstone to Amphail. We enter Amphail, thieves for hire. Keen to connect with Bum in dice and desire.
So, Amphail. Amphail is in front of you. We are, I think I recall it's about midday from last session. It's still relatively early in the day. A town has come into view, and you're fairly confident it is the Amphail that you have been looking for. We're going to start off just to see who, if any of your party, knows anything about Amphail. So can you all please roll me a history check, please? Please,
would absolutely love to.
Oh, critical miss.
I got a...
Glad this is the heist that I'm supposed to be most interested in.
I got 16 plus 4, which brings to a total of 20.
MJ and Stuart both die of history.
Why do I die?
It was me.
Oh, Luke, sorry.
I got the one.
You can die anyway. Yeah, so Gregomel, I think, was the highest there. What did you get, Stuart?
I got 11.
11, okay. Gregomel's been around a bit. It's not, with his wandering mind, it's not clear whether he's actually ever been there or not, but he's got a brief memory of the town.
He may not remember towns, but he remembers certain places within the towns, or more specifically, he remembers brothels very well.
Interesting. Good. Glad I didn't plan a brothel. So Gregomel, whether or not Gregomel decides to impart this on the rest of you, but he knows that Amphail's, a fairly decently sized town. It's got about 700 inhabitants. It's predominantly a farmer's town, and used for horses. Some grassy hills around there, but it's the thing that's appealing about Amphail is a lot of nobles tend to come here from Waterdeep.
Would you like Gregomel to fill you in on what he knows about the place?
You can.
He's like, what? Nathan's like, what do you know?
Yeah, I mean, I've sort of not really finished.
What have I told you that you know?
Well, ladies and gentlemen, Amphail was named after one of the first lords of Waterdeep, I'll have you know, Amphail the Just, who used to have his estate here. The population are predominantly humans, about 64%.
About.
Dwarves are there, about 10%. Elves, about 10%. Lightfoot halflings, 5%. Halflings, 5%. Gnomes, 3%. Orcs, 2%. Other, about 1%.
When were you conducting the census?
He just did a quick whip round.
Can I do an insight check?
On Greg? Yeah, go for it.
Yeah, much of it was what he says, I believe.
Okay. Gregomel, can you have a persuasion check, please? Versus Krill's insight.
I just rolled a natural 20. Don't even need to add my extras onto it.
Yep. Krill, you believe every single number that is spewed. I mean, Krill's not an intelligent boy, so...
Yeah. I'm pretty sure that every time he's rolled a persuasion against Krill in their time together, he's won. Because Krill just believes everything he says.
Correct. So yeah, that's sort of a brief understanding of Amphail. It's largely farmers, largely, places to keep horses, a lot of horses being bred here, but there's also nobles coming into the town and staying. Why do you keep laughing at horses being bred?
This is getting drawn for out of context quotes.
Correct. What? All right, and horses get fucked here. And yeah, and so
horses or half dragonborns.
Some dragonborn, half horses. So essentially the hub of the city is where the farmers etc. work. The nobles tend to sort of have sort of holiday homes, shall we call them, around the sort of outskirts of the main city. So that's a brief understanding of what Amphail is, the sort of town that you're walking into. As you arrive, it's relatively quiet on most of the streets. Not quite in the same way that Nightstone is. There's definitely some people milling about. But given the size of town, it's maybe, as you're approaching from the south, it's maybe not quite as busy as you'd expect, this sort of time of the day. But there's, like I said, there's still some people around. So what would you like to do?
Should we call out for Bum?
He said to meet at the Staghorn Flagon, which I believe is the bar.
Quill is tired. I think we should find somewhere to rest.
Just in the street. Just lay down right here.
What time of day is it?
It's about midday. I mean, you've not been walking that long, to be fair, for a big half-orc barbarian like you.
The time of day doesn't affect how tired I am.
You just want to snuggle up with Mr. Mosey.
Mr. Mosey is incredibly tired.
So yeah, what are you doing?
It might be worth having a look around and seeing if we can find any interesting shops or merchants or traders. This is our first opportunity in a big town to perhaps beef up our supplies somewhat.
Quill would very much like to find some armour for Mr. Mosey.
I would suggest a good place to start would be the kind of central hub of the town.
Mm-hmm.
Do they have a large map that says you are here?
They don't, but for the purposes of metagaming, I will now take you to Roll20, MJ.
Wow.
And you will see
Look at that!
a rough outline of Amphail, which is, just to confirm, MJ,
A very beautiful place.
Amphail. So yeah, sort of a fairly bigger town than what you just come from in Nightstone. Maybe not necessarily in land mass, but certainly in terms of buildings and places to visit. You've essentially approached from the sort of the southwest sort of direction. So you're around here. If you're on Roll20, you're over this sort of south side of the town.
I can see a small cul-de-sac to the left. I bet there's some quaint and interesting buildings down there.
No.
So not the main high street, no?
You want to see you want to do the scenic route, do you?
Yeah, let's just go to the lake and splash around for a bit.
If you want,
lake episode, yes.
Found service, here we come. Awesome.
As
you want to find the truth of the town, I find you go to the back streets, but I'm happy to follow wherever you wish to go, lads.
To go.
I don't know why I called you lads, that was silly.
Wherever you wish to go.
So, your voice has changed again.
Yeah. So yeah, are you high streeting it or are you back alleying it?
Quill wants to go shopping.
Okay.
I would recommend the high street then.
Okay.
Do they have a Debenhams?
Yes, but not for much longer. Times are tough in Amphail. As you sort of start walking into the town, the first one of the first buildings you see on your right, you start hearing the sound of metal upon metal, the clink clink of a smithy, and you see a sign on the outside that says Alvinhand Smithy, weapons sold here.
Oh. I've been pondering on the road that I'd like a weapon specifically.
More weapons.
Lads, can I don't know why I'm also saying lads, can I take the lead on speaking to this gentleman, please?
I'd insist upon it, Krill.
Is it an
Never a
open?
good idea.
Is it an open sort of shop, or is it like behind a door?
Yeah, it's got sort of it's sort of split in two really. You've got like the shop part of it, and then there's sort of an open sort of where the smithying's being done is open. You can see like a broad-shouldered woman there, just hammering away down on a sword.
Right, I'll speak to the lady.
Okay, so she's just there, just like cracking away, sparks flying all over the place. Clink.
Excuse me.
What? Clink. Clink.
That's a bit abrasive.
I mean,
I'm
I
interested.
am quite busy here. Clink.
Is there somebody inside we can speak to?
No, me. I'm the only person that works here. Hence why I'm the one working away here. Clink.
Dweezil.
Do you get much
Step it.
feedback on your customer service?
She puts the hammer down, sort of stands up. You see this broad-shouldered woman, and she looks a bit. Can I have a perception check from you, please, Krill?
Yeah, if I find a d20. 11.
11. You can tell this woman's got a physical past. Let's put it that way. I don't want to give too much away because your role's not been too much. But, you know, this is not necessarily a woman that's been brought up finishing schools or anything like that. She's very much at home with, she's a handy woman, let's put it that way.
Does Greg recognise her?
Not that type of handy woman.
Dweezil, can you sweet talk her?
Listen, I am quite busy. I am quite busy here. Everyone's down at the festival at the moment, so I'm just working. So if you don't want anything, can you piss off? Clink.
No, we very much would like something. It's the reason I started this conversation and asked about if there was somebody inside.
Right. Okay, so what do you want?
I would like to browse your inventory of wares for sale.
Inventory? Where are you from with a voice? Right, well, what? Listen, this is... Hi there, and welcome to Ulvenhand's Smithy. My name is Elissa Ulvenhand. What would you like to buy from my smithy?
Do you have any bows?
Do you mind? I'm leading this
sorry.
conversation as we agreed.
Right, which one of you am I supposed to be talking to here?
Me, we sound very similar. It's hard to tell us apart sometimes.
Well, there's a distinct difference between the two of you, I can tell you that much. Smell, mainly.
Yeah, it's his sword, isn't it? It smells like shit. Do you
No,
clean
actually, it was you I was referring to. Now, what do you want?
Oh.
Wow. Well, I'm not even here for myself, really. I pull out Mr. Mosey and be like, my companion here requires armour of the finest standard.
Can I get a charisma check, please? Straight charisma.
It's when Dweezil and Greg are just standing at the back laughing to each other.
Oh, unnatural 20.
Unnatural 20. She doesn't like you. She clearly still doesn't like you, but I think an element of thinking you're simple-minded has meant that she's going to maybe just deal with you in a slightly different manner. She's like, listen, I am incredibly busy. Like I said, I'm working here. Everyone is down at the festival at the moment. I'm just trying to get some of these swords done. So can you please just get to the point? Do you want to buy something or not?
Armour for Mr. Mosey.
Armour. Do I look like a woman that would have armour the size of whatever that is?
Dabov looks really offended at that one.
I mean, is this not how shops work in this town? You want something and inquire as to whether someone has it before being insulted.
It is, but equally, I mean, if you really want me to make you some armour for...
Absolutely, 100%. This is what I'm asking for.
Right, okay, well, it's a very unusual request. You must understand this. And like I say, I am incredibly busy. I mean, does the bear need...
Let's look at me. You see my armour? I want a 1/16th scale replica.
You want a 16th scale replica of... And what? Are you even wearing armour?
Big shoulder pads.
Just a plate with a belt, isn't it?
Leg greaves. Big belt. I have this gauntlet of ogre strength. It's very powerful. I don't want one. I just want one that looks like this.
Okay, well, this is really unusual, and I'm a little bit miffed that you've asked me of today of all days. Let me just. I'm gonna go and have a think. I'm gonna go and do some numbers and see if I can work out what what's needed and how much it's going to cost. Just have a look around the shop and I'll come back to you. I'll come back to you in a minute. So just, look around.
Would Quinch be able to have a look for a bow?
Would a smithy sell a bow?
I thought so.
Wow.
It's more metalwork, isn't it? So no, you don't see a bow. You look around and you see other metal objects, swords, scimitars,
Do
armor.
I see metal arrows?
Do you see metal arrows? Yeah, you'll see it. You'll see some arrows, certainly.
I'll buy some arrows if they're for sale.
Okay, we'll come back to that in a second. Does anyone else? Like I say, you can see plenty of swords, long swords, great swords. They look pretty decent, Nick. There's nothing here like exceptional standard or anything like that.
Will leans in towards Dabov and says, the lady mentioned something about my smell. Do I smell? And with that, he grabs his head and almost pushes it right into his armpit, like nose flush against it.
Probably have to pick him off the ground for that.
Yeah, I'm picking up by the back of his head. That's how I'm doing it.
I just feel abused at this point. If I say no, will you put me down?
Yeah.
Don't sound too enthusiastic about that.
I don't know what my other option was. I wasn't just going to keep you there. Yes, you smell, and then I just tuck you under my arm and carry on with my day.
Save me having to walk. I just say no, not at all. You smell like roses and like something else that's nice. Swans.
You literally say, and something else that's nice.
With a pause.
I'm a bit dazed, to be honest.
Sam, what armor does Krill wear? So what type of armor?
Realistically, what I'd be looking for would be metal shoulder pads with the spikes on that he's got, a large gauntlet over one hand, a robust metal belt, and then some is it greaves for your legs?
Yeah.
But, yeah,
what class is it in the stats? What class
It's not, is it? Because Krill's technically unarmored in terms of
it's purely aesthetic, and then it just goes from the knees down with like almost like leg plate.
Is Mr. Mosey proficient in medium?
Mr. Mosey is proficient in all armors.
Okay, right. Okay.
He would just have to quench it.
Yeah.
Just not have it done up.
Yeah.
She comes back over to you and says, "Right, I've had a thing, and like I say, I've been doing this for far too long now, and I've never been asked to do armor for a bear. So, listen, this is a specialist item. It's going to take me some time because I've got to measure up the bear. I've got to work out the rights. I've got designs out the back for all shapes and sizes of people. Gnomes. I can do a gnome quite easily, but a bear, this is something brand new to me. So, 50 gold pieces, and it'll take me a week."
Yeah, I will accept your offer.
Good use of 50 gold pieces, the DM says.
And then I pick up Mr. Mosey and let out, yeah.
Okay. Do you want to leave Mr. Mosey? You didn't know that you said that out loud. Do you want? Can I take the bear then and do some measurements on this?
Let me just have a quick word. So I hold it, Mr. Mosey. Mr. Mosey, the lovely lady here would like to measure you up, and you can stay with her for a little while if you like.
Can I just check? So, gather around. So we've come here to do a heist, which is stealing. So are we just going to stay here for a week after the heist? Is that definitely what's happening?
And whilst I don't wish to railroad you, I should tell you that the cost of this armour for the bear is the equivalent of 1 potion of healing.
This is certainly money well spent.
I don't know where we're getting... I'm not sure where Krill's getting 50 gold pieces from, because there's nothing like 50 gold pieces in the kitty.
Oh, Krill has his own money. Don't worry about that.
Oh. Krill is quite the independent man.
Nothing screams independence like carrying around a teddy bear.
I've told you numerous times I am busy. Can we make a decision on this?
What? I don't know why I'm saying this in voice. What would I have to roll to try and haggle?
Charisma. Actually, if you can give me an argument, and then we'll roll a persuasion check.
Right.
Tell me why this woman, who's incredibly busy, not particularly friendly, should take time out of her day to make a bear some armor.
What was your name again?
Off to a good start. Elissa.
Elissa. This bear, Mr. Mosey, is my nearest and dearest friend. We have known each other for quite some time. I worry about him, and unfortunately I can't afford 50 gold pieces to protect him. But if anything were to happen to him, I would quite literally lose a part of me.
Can you roll me persuasion then, please?
What does 17 get me?
So what are you trying to do? You're trying to haggle the price.
I've just explained that I can't afford 50 gold pieces to protect my nearest and dearest friend.
Listen, I feel for you. I really do. This bear is clearly, it clearly means a lot to you. But you should know, I used to serve in the military, and I need to reflect the price of taking time out of my day to make armour for people who genuinely need to be protected. Please do not take this as an offence. Your bear does not need to be protected as much as the guards of this town.
But it's aesthetically pleasing.
I understand that, and I agree. 50 gold pieces, 1 week.
50 gold pieces, 4 days?
50 gold pieces, 1 week.
60 gold pieces, 4 days?
60 gold pieces, 1 week.
It's almost like healthcare in America here.
Is there anything I can do to reduce either the cost or time of this project?
Realistically, no. It's going to cost me by the time that I lose some of the metal from offcuts and things like that, I'm just not going to make my money
You've
off
seen the
this.
size of the bear. You can make him with offcuts.
And you're the only person that has asked for this. I'm not going to have another bear come through here that's going to need the offcuts. So it's wasted metal to me.
I could offer you exposure.
She's not a graphic designer, Sam.
Are you asking me for some freebie samples that you could feature on your town's webpage?
As I adventure around with Mr. Mosey, they'll say, "Oh my gosh, where did you get that beautiful miniature armor?" And I shall point them in your direction, and ultimately you will make lots more money.
Hashtag Smifted.
Roll me a persuasion check.
16.
Come on, has he wordsmithed the smithy?
40 gold pieces, 1 week. I can't do anything about the time.
You, my friend, have a deal.
With this, Dweezil will step forward and say, Elissa, I can only apologise for your for the exchange that you've just been forced into. My name is Dweezil van Zafir. I am a teller of tales and an artist and such. And looking round your smithy here, I can see that I'm speaking artist to artist. I'm very, very, very impressed by your work. This is the highest quality of armory and smithing that I've seen for quite some time. You mentioned I have two questions for you, if that is okay. You mentioned a festival taking place in the town. We are new to Amphail. What is this festival?
It's the Festival of Aegon.
The Festival of Aegon. And how is the festival celebrated within the town? Is there an opportunity for a bard to perhaps take advantage of the festivities?
I would have thought so. We have a Battle of the Bard contest every year.
A Battle of the Bards contest. With
Yeah.
this, Dweezil looks round at the other lads just with a kind of expectant, like, raises his eyebrows.
Listen,
Where does this?
listen, fancy boy. The Festival of Aegon. This is not my area, but I'm just going to do you. I'm going to do you a favour. The Festival of Aegon is a festival of games and competitions. It is somewhere where you looks around at you all and goes, competent fighters possibly could earn some money, perhaps to pay for extravagances like bear armour. You might want to head there and earn some money while you're here, waiting for bear armour. The disdain is dripping from every single time she says bear armour.
Could I have
whilst-
these 5 metal arrows, please?
Well, just 1 second, Quinch. Well, obviously you are going out of your way to make this bespoke armour for my friend's dearly beloved
Why
companion.
does everyone say bear armor with that tone?
But I can't help but notice that you do have crossbow bolts and arrows here already made. Would it be feasible for myself and my great friend Quinch, the bringer of omens here, to take a sheaf of crossbow bolts and a sheaf of arrows with us?
I mean, I sell them, so yeah, I guess so.
What's your price?
So how many do you want? You want 20 bolts? 20 of each?
20 bolts, 20 arrows, yes.
She looks around at her stock. It's quite a few arrows and quite a few bolts, but they're clearly sort of ones that are potentially earmarked for others. Okay, tell you what, 2 gold pieces for the lot.
2 gold pieces for 20 of each.
That's what I said.
Absolutely, I would not insult you as to haggle over such a reasonable price.
Good.
But with that, Dweezil hands over 2 gold pieces.
And I believe this dragon fellow, you wanted something, did you?
Oh no, I've dealt with the dragon with the dragon's request.
Yes, thank you, Alyssa. You've been very good. Thank you. We're sorry to interrupt your busy day.
You're welcome. I wish everyone was as polite as you.
I'm sorry that I got my sweaty hands on your arrows.
But
we bought them, so.
She looks around to Daboff and Greg and says, "And you two, do you want anything, or can I just get on now?"
You can just get on. I don't want any of this metal junk. More powerful things than what you're offering.
Can I just look around and see if I see anything of like a finesse weapon or like something like that? Just something that'd be suitable.
Okay. Yeah, you're looking around. Looking for something finesse. You see some daggers. You see some darts. You see some daggers. You see some darts. No, I mean they're essentially as finesse as you're going to get around here. She tends to work with the big lot and some arrows and bolts.
I'll say I'll probably take some arrows as well, assuming they've not all been earmarked. I should probably stock up.
Yeah, I mean I can knock them out pretty quickly. How many did you want? Another 20?
Yeah, call it 20.
And what was it? Arrows or bolts?
Arrows for a short bow.
And she reaches up, gets the arrows, puts them down in front of you, and says, "That'll be 1 gold piece, please."
Cool. I'll hand that over.
It's interesting that you said you knocked them up and then just had them ready to go.
Well, she's a talented woman.
So what I'm saying is, she's got stock, which is earmarked for other people, but she can quickly knock them up for the other people before they come to collect them.
Quill understands.
There we go.
Wait, so just to put this in context, the bear armor is costing the equivalent of 400 arrows.
Yep.
Amazing.
I didn't ask you how you spent your money when we stopped in all those brothels.
For his 1 hour.
Well, I tried telling you, you just didn't want to listen.
Krill is saving himself for a special lady.
Listen, you guys have annoyed me for long enough, but you clearly are new round here. Do you need anything else? If you want anything else, I deal with weapons and armour. If you want anything else, you might as well. You'll need to head over to Bloodlar's Wares, and have a chat to Yarnik, who can sort you out with any sort of gear, not that type of gear, any sort of adventuring lark, any ropes and all that crap. I don't deal with that.
Sorry, what was his name?
Yarnik.
Yarnik.
You strike me as the type of dragon who's intent on finding out the spellings of things.
I'm assuming it's IQUE at the end.
It would
am
be
I
the only
right?
IQ in this place right now.
Why did you look at me when you said that?
You know exactly why. Yarnik will help you out with anything else. Tell him I sent you. I get a percentage of the sales.
We'll be sure to mention you. Thank you for your...
I'll be sure to ensure that I definitely say that. And then I look at the guys and go, I won't say that.
Wow. Bearing in mind that's the deal you struck as well, that you'd be spreading the name of Alyssa.
Yeah.
Off to a good start.
I mean, we often know that these people that offer exposure don't.
Correct. Right.
The justice, the amount of justice that these metal arrows will provide will be of such great stat. I'm just going to leave. Bye.
Yeah, can you please... Clink, clink. She goes back to working on the sword that's sat there, probably ruined. So where now? Do you want to go to Yarnik's? Do you want to go to the festival? Do you want to go to the inn? Do you want to go somewhere else?
We could go to Yarnik's.
I really do want to see what's going on at the festival.
I mean, does anyone need any adventuring gear? I don't particularly.
I
No.
don't. To be honest.
Krill is overtaking the lead. Somebody else can step up.
Should we go check out the festival? We've got a whole week to go to Yarnik's, apparently.
Yeah. We may need to go to Yarnik's anyway to acquire some stuff ready for our
Heist. You sell balaclavas.
No, but we could always get Yarnik to knock us up some. So charge us a very reasonable 40 gold for them.
Yeah.
Right. So as you leave Alyssa's store, Smithy, can I have a perception check from any of you, any and all of you?
It's a 10 from Dweezil.
And it's good night from him.
Sorry, is this... Oh, you actually want to check, not a passive perception.
7.
Perception check, yeah.
Krill leans down to Dabrov and goes, well, she's a bit of a bitch.
10 overall.
18. I think Quinch got the highest there. Quinch,
Yeah, I got 18.
now with this added knowledge of there being a festival in town, thrown in with the fact that, you know, there's not that many people down here in the southwest of the town. You think maybe you can sort of suddenly just hear in the distance a little bit of liveliness in the northeast. And so you head in that direction. And as you'll see on the map, if you do return to Roll20, as you'll see on the map, there is, as you walk through the town, you start seeing more and more people heading in that direction. And there is, behind some of the buildings, there's what appears to be sort of a large open space, which is not actually that large, it's not that open at this point because it is filled with stalls and whatnot. And as you approach, you notice that the entrance of this festival, there's a royal blue banner with gold writing which reads Festival of Aegon above it. There's a small sign dug into the ground which points to a table just outside the entrance, suggesting that people who want to sign up for any of the events should head there. You see, sat behind the table, a human male. He looks quite old. Bit tough to sort of read how old he is, but he's fairly old. Just past the entrance, you can't see much at this point. There's people and whatnot, but you see like the tops of a number of stalls. You hear the cries of celebration and desperation from different points, people who are winning, people who are losing. You can tell that the festival reaches quite far and wide. And although you can't see everything, you are able to see what appears to be a furbolg racing a boar. You can see a gnome throwing darts through a hoop, an unknown target, and a Kenku struggling to balance in midair, which is quite unique. So what do you want to do?
Look, Dabov, that gnome knows how to hit a target.
Look, the rest of those other creatures know how to stay awake.
Dweezil strides straight up to the table with the old man and proclaims, Cancel the Battle of the Bards, my good man, because the winner is here.
Thank you for listening. If you've enjoyed this episode, hit the subscribe button on your favourite podcast app to ensure you don't miss any future instalments of Dice and Desire. And in the meantime, if you want to interact with us, come and find us on Twitter and Instagram @Dice and Desire.